Hey everyone, welcome back to M&M IELTS. This is Manmohit. In today's video, we are going to understand one of the topic from your IELTS reading module, and the topic is called summary completion. Now, there are different type of completion topics that you can get, like flowchart completion and all that stuff, but it's one and the same thing. But let's understand what summary completion is. We have done few topics in the past for the reading module, and especially the recent topic from the IELTS reading, which was sentence completion, where you were given a sentence and at the end there used to be a blank which you used to complete by reading the information from the paragraph. This topic is not much different from that, but this time you will not be given one single sentence, but you would be given a complete paragraph, as in a complete summary with few blanks in there, something like this. So there are going to be two things in there. In summary completion, there is going to be a paragraph, or let's say couple of paragraphs, and then there is going to be this summary paragraph. So basically this summary is going to be from either one of those paragraphs. So basically this would be the summary of either one of those, and your job is to read out these paragraphs. First of all, obviously, to identify which paragraph is the information from, which paragraph is the summary about, and then from that paragraph you have to kind of understand and find out what are the missing words that are given to us there. Now, for this particular topic, there are two different type of questions that you can get in the exam for summary completion. First type is going to be without the options, or what I consider that is without any help. And the second type is going to be with the options, or I would say with help. When I say without options, I mean something like this. You just get a paragraph with few blanks. Your job is to read the text and from there just find out what words are missing. In the second one, where it says with options, same concept, but below that you would be given the options already. So still you would be reading out the paragraph to identify what's the correct answer, but then you would just not be putting any words from the paragraph. You have to find, as in the second step, which is the closest word, or which is that exact word that is given in those options. And then you just need to either write or type down that option, or just read out the question at the very top, and it should say something like write down the answer, or it should say write down the option, something like this. So you just write in number 1, number 2, and so on. Very important topic, I would say. Not a very common one, but very important. Now, like I said, it's something similar to the sentence completion, but let's understand how this one would work. Now, we already know until now that there are going to be two different types of questions that can get in here. Now let's understand some tips that we can follow in this particular topic, because it's a very straightforward one. You just read out, you've got a summary completion, you've got a paragraph with few blanks, you just read out the paragraph, find the information. But let's see certain tips that can help us to increase our reading scores, or let's say that can help us to get more correct answers in the summary completion. First tip would be, and that applies to any topic in your IELTS reading, and that's always and always read the question. If you do not read the question, you actually do not even know what you're looking for. Question can say, read the following paragraph and write down your answer in no more than 2 words. Something like this. If I do not read the question right, and if I just start writing down whatever I wish according to my mind, there is a high chance that I may not satisfy the condition, and in return I will not get any marks at all. In some cases, the question would say, write down the option number in the given spaces below. So over there, you would just be writing down A or B or C or D, something like this. So you always got to make sure that you understand and read the question thoroughly and properly to understand what the question is asking from you, and only then you start to follow the second step. That was my tip number 1. Tip number 2 here is going to be, always and always first is going to be locating the paragraph. Like I said, and I'll give you the third tip alongside this one, which will help you to understand the second tip a lot better, is that answers are going to be in sequence, which is a very great thing, I would say, in any topic. Whatever paragraphs you would be given over here, if you find the answer for blank number 1 here, let's say here, the answer for blank number 2 is always going to be after that answer number 1. It is never going to be first here and then the answer number 2 is over here. It's never going to be jumbled. It's always going to be in sequence. The way to follow this particular topic and solve this one is, once you have identified what blank you're looking for, just look for the keywords in that particular paragraph. Let's say this keyword said the word Adelaide. Afterwards, start locating where that particular information is. When you see that word Adelaide written somewhere, that's what I would start reading properly. Never read the complete paragraph in the exam. Why? You don't have enough time to do so. You've got so many questions to solve in so much little time. Always and always look the keywords in the given paragraph, the summary completion paragraph, and then start locating that keyword in the given paragraph. This is the best way to go about this topic. Never just blindly start reading out the complete paragraph, because you will take a lot of time and in return you will still get less correct answers from there. Another tip I can give you for this one is always and always predict the answer first and then search in the paragraph. Now, when I say predict the answer, read out the sentence which has got a blank and try to figure out by yourself, based on the grammar rules and based on the sentence structure, that which word sounds the best or which word do you feel should come there. Is it a verb which is missing over there? Is it an adjective which is missing over there? Is it an adverb which is missing over there? Is it a noun which is missing over there? What's missing? Try to find that and try to predict which answer do you feel, which word do you feel sounds the best there, which word do you feel fits the best in there, and then start reading out the paragraph, because you will have more chances of getting the right answer as compared to if you were just starting to find the keywords. So that was my tip number 4. Always try to predict the answer first and then only try to search in the paragraph to find the correct answer. So these were the few tips that I wanted to share over here. Now what I'll do is I'll bring out the question in front of you. Obviously, we'll give you some time to solve as well. And afterwards, I'll be back with you with the answers and obviously an explanation as to why we picked these answers. And this will help you to understand and get these tips into a bit more practical way so that you can start applying when you start practicing as well. So let's say this is the question that I have over here. So as you can see, I've got A, B, and C 3 paragraphs. The topic is about paper recycling. Now, let's read out the question here. The question says, complete the summary below of the first 2 paragraphs of the reading passage. Choose 1 or 2 words, and they have highlighted that for us as well. Choose 1 or 2 words. My answer can only be 1 or 2 words. I cannot, even if I feel the answer is 3 words, it is never going to happen. 1 or 2 words. From the reading passage for each answer, write your answers in the boxes 30 to 36. So in the real exam, you would have been given some boxes, like for example 30th, 31st, 32nd, and so on. That's where you type or write the answers. This is why reading the question is very important. Reading the instructions is very important, because it will actually help you to understand what the computer, what IELTS exam is looking from you. Now what I'll do is I'll give you 3 minutes over here. I'll start the timer, 3 minutes. So we don't have to do all the questions, just read the first 3. So we are only going to do question number 30, question number 31, and question number 32. So just these 3 questions. Take 3 minutes, read out. So first find the keywords that are given in this particular paragraph over here. Then read out the paragraphs which are given over here on the left hand side and try to find the answer by yourself to see which answer sounds the best. Drop your answers in the comment section below. Even if they are wrong or right, doesn't matter. We are all learning at this stage. And afterwards, after 3 minutes, I'll be back with you with the explanation and also as to what are the correct answers. Your time starts now. All right, so let's try to see what are the correct answers and where did we find them. Now, over here, if you see, first one has already been done for us, so we are not looking at that. Now, what it says over here in the first sentence is, from the point of view of recycling, paper has two advantages over minerals and oil. So we're talking about paper over here. Now, the answer says over here, next sentence, in that, firstly, it comes from a resource. What is the word it over here? They're referring to the word paper. It comes from a resource which is dash, and secondly, it is less threatening to our environment. And firstly, it comes from a resource. So I got my keyword over here, which is resource, and which is dash, which is something. Now after is, which is my helping verb, there has to be a main verb after that. So that means we're looking for an action word over here. So, trying to predict which could be my best answer. But I've got my keyword over here, which is the word resource. So what I'll do now is I'll start reading out this paragraph and see where I find the word resource, because most likely that's where I would be finding my correct answer as well. Paper is different from other waste produced because it comes from a sustainable resource. Right over here, I've already got my resource word over here. Let's try to read out this sentence thoroughly now. Paper is different from other waste produced because it comes from a sustainable resource, which is trees. My sentence is, in that, firstly, it comes from a resource which is dash. They already said it comes from a sustainable resource. It comes from a resource which is dash. One and the same thing. They've just paraphrased it a bit. So my correct answer over here, or I'll write it down here for number 30th, is going to be sustainable. Because it was the same sentence, same meaning, just paraphrased a bit. That's how I would be getting my correct answer. Like I said, since we have already got my first answer from here, it cannot be from anywhere else. My second answer will come after this because the answers are going to be in sequence. Next one says, and secondly, it is less threatening to our environment. Environment is my keyword. Less threatening when we throw it away because it is dash. Because paper is what? So we are looking for the word threatening and the word environment. Let's see. Unlike the minerals and oil used to make plastics and metals, trees are replaceable. Paper is also biodegradable. So it does not pose as much threat to the environment when it is discarded. Discarded, environment, all the keywords are here. Paper is also what? Biodegradable. So if we fit that word here, it says, secondly, it is less threatening to our environment when we throw it away because it is biodegradable. So this is how I'm finding my correct answers. So we'll do just one more, and that's number 32. It says over here, let's read it from although Australia's record in the reuse of waste paper is good, it is still necessary to use a combination of recycled fiber and something dash to make a new paper. So I straight away got my keyword over here, which is recycled fiber. So I'll start looking for where my recycled fiber word is. It says, so if I start reading, make wood in Australia comes from waste paper. The rest come directly from, okay, right now in the next sentence, I'm getting my answer. While 45 out of every 100 tons of wood fiber used to make paper in Australia comes from waste paper, the rest come directly from virgin fiber. So recycled fiber and virgin fiber, that's another one. And what it says after that is a good performance standards since the worldwide average is 33% waste paper. Governments have encouraged waste paper collection and sorting schemes at the same time. Developing new recycling techniques. As a result, industry's use of recycled fibers, I've got my keyword over here, is expected to increase as at the twice the rate of virgin fiber. So they have mentioned one, which is recycled fiber, and second type of fiber they have mentioned is virgin fiber. So as you can see, this is how I would be finding my answers. I'm not doing anything different. I'm just following my basics, my tips that I've just shared with you. If you just follow this much, you should be all good, but I'm not saying just learn the topic and move on. This video is just to make you aware of what this topic is. But now comes the harder part, and that is practicing. Do not just assume, okay, we'll not get this topic in the real exam. It is not very common, but there are still chances of getting this. So practice hard. There's a lot of material out there. Practice a lot for this particular topic. If you have any sort of questions, do leave them down in the comment section below. and me and Mohit will answer them as quickly as possible. We'll also be coming up with a lot more videos in the future as well, like we are until now. So do consider subscribing so that whenever those videos are up, you get notified about them. With that, I'm done with this video. All the best if you have got an exam coming soon. Stay safe wherever you are, and I'll see you all in the next video.